Hi guys, I am now going to do lesson 9. I said hi guys, and I tried to not say that the entire unit. Lesson 9, equations with fractions. So again, steps are the same. We still want to isolate the variable, get it alone using our inverse operations. I am now hiding in the bathroom in my bedroom because of all the distractions in the last video. So I hope you found that entertaining. It made you want to watch more of the video instead of shutting it off. So here we go, solving with equations, almost with fractions, almost done with the unit. So example number 1, we have j minus 3/5 equals 1/5. So we still want to isolate that j, we still want to isolate the variable. The opposite of subtracting 3/5 is to add 3/5. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to add 3/5. Some of you might want to draw on that wall, that's fine. They're on opposite sides of that wall or opposite sides of the equal sign. We gotta use those in reverse or opposite operations. Negative 3/5 plus 3/5 is 0, so I can cross those out. I now have j is equal to 1 ABC5 plus 3 ABC5. So again, I hope that calculator is handy. You should have 4/5. And that one was nice and easy because they already had a common denominator. So if you do not have a calculator, because we're working with fractions here, when you're adding and subtracting, you will need a common denominator. So use that calculator. Isolate h. I'm going to add 3/8 to both sides. They're now gone. That's 0. Add 3/8 to the right side. H equals, again, they already have a common denominator, so some of you might have 4/8. If you use the calculator, 1ABC8 plus 3ABC8, it's going to give you the reduced version, which is 2/4. So we want to reduce and simplify as much as possible. Oh, that's not even completely reduced because 2/4 can also reduce to 1/2. So actually 4/8 completely reduced would be 1/2. So your calculator should give you that. It might give you 0.5, but remember, if I give you fractions, I prefer a fraction back. And if I give you decimals in an equation, I'd rather you give me the decimal form back. 3, I'm going to isolate g. The opposite of adding 1/9 is to subtract 1/9. More to get over to the 4/9. That's 0. So now I have g equals, and again, they already have a common denominator. I'm going to put 5/9. You guys, again, can use that calculator. 4ABC9 minus 1ABC9, and that cannot be reduced. Your calculator should also give you 5/9. Number 4, again, on that left-hand side, both of those fractions have an x, so I can combine them together just as if they were whole numbers or integers. You could do the same thing with fractions. So 5/6 minus 1/6. If you're not using a calculator, you might write 4/6, but 4/6 can be reduced. So make sure you use the calculator because it will always give you the reduced form. So 2/3 x equals 8. Now, if you did leave it as a 4/6, you still would end up with the same answer when we're done. But again, I'm assuming you're using a calculator. So please use it. 2/3 x means 2/3 times x. Yes, the 2 and the 3 are being divided. That is a fraction, but this whole fraction is being multiplied to the x. And the opposite of multiplying by 2/3 is to divide by 2/3. Whatever I do to the left side, I have to do to the right side. So what I just created is 8 divided by 2/3, and we talked about in Unit 2 how that's considered a complex fraction. 8 divided by 2/3, again, just use that calculator. If we were in 6th grade math, you would have to do keep, change, flip, but we are not in 6th grade, so x equals 12. So if you do not have a calculator, you will have to do keep, change, flip on that. Number 5, if you're not comfortable with the 50 being on the left, you can move the equals 50 and put it on the right. I'm just going to leave it where it is. Take what's on the outside and multiply it to the inside. So 2ABC3 times 3, 2/3 times 3 would give you 2x. Make sure you try it, not just copy. 2/3 times 6, that would give me 4. And it's still equal to the 50. I now have to isolate my variable by subtracting 4 from the right and from the left. Constant to a constant. I now have 46 equals 2x. Divide both sides by 2. I now have 23 equals x. And again, with all of these problems, just like we did with decimals and whole numbers and integers, you can substitute your answer in and make sure it works. Right in the calculator. Wall, distribute. Get rid of those parentheses. 2/3 times 6 gives me 4x. 2/3 times a -9 gives me a -6 or a -6. Again, make sure you try it in your calculator, not just copy. If you're feeling good about this, pause the video and try the rest of the examples on your own and then hit play and see if you get them right. Add 6 to both sides. I now have 60 equals 4x. The opposite of multiplying or inverse of multiplying by 4 is to divide by 4. So 60 divided by 4, I believe, is 15. So 15 equals x, or x equals 15. Problem number 7, 1/2 times 2. Well, half of 2 is 1x, or just x. 1/2 times 2, again, is 1, equals 48. Minus 1 from both sides is now a 2-step, which you should be very familiar with at this point. 1x equals 47. I could divide both sides by 1, but I know that x and 1x are the same, so I'm just going to erase my coefficient of 1, and I now know x is 47. Number 8, 1/3 times 9 gives me 3x. 1/3 times a -12 gives me a minus or -4, equals a -25. I'm then going to do the inverse of subtracting 4, which is to add 4. Get my constant over to my other constant. Again, if you want to put the wall in, that's helpful. Do that. 3x equals -21. -25 plus 4. Signs are different. I subtract. Take the sign of the bigger number or use your calculator. Then divide both sides by 3. X is now equal to -7. So a negative divided by a positive, use your tic-tac-toe board. Again, if you don't have that calculator handy. We will do the try these in class together. As always, we will try to get through as much as we can as a class. And then the Google form questions will come from the bottom of page 126 where it says homework, and some from page 127. So it does spill over to the next